You hear me?
Yes, good afternoon, Judge.
Okay, perfect. There's a Sara Rico. Sara, are you an attorney?
Your Honor, Ms. Sara Rico is, she's a potential witness in the case of Juana Garza. As Attorney someone.
Okay. All right.
Judge, is it possible that you could take my case because I start docket admission at 2:30?
Sure thing. Let me just make sure everything's going okay. All right, good afternoon. Today is Monday, September 30th. My name is Judge Esparzo. We have some writ hearings scheduled this afternoon. The defendants are present in the courtroom. They were sworn in earlier. The first case we're going to call is C-4436-24-8, State of Texas versus Pete Garcia.
Judge Carlos Ortegon for Mr. Garcia.
Stand up in the middle of the room there, sir. Hang on just a minute, Carlos. You speak English, Mr. Garcia? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, go ahead, Carlos.
Judge, my client is a resident of Donna, Texas, lifetime resident. He has a possession of marijuana and 2 possession of controlled substance. He cannot make bond, Your Honor. I'm court appointed. We're asking for PR bonds just and any other conditions that the court wishes to impose.
What says the state?
Honor, Ray Garza for the state. The state would be opposed to a PR bond. The defendant has been up before. He did 2 years TDCJ in 2013. This is a cocaine and methamphetamine 2-count case at intake. Bond is set at $20,000 cash surety on each case. We are in agreement to cut that in half at $10,000 cash surety for each count.
I show one POCS at 25,000 and the other one at 15,000. Is that correct?
That is
Correct,
correct.
Judge.
The POM, the complaint has already been filed, Carlos. It landed in court 1, so you'll need to take that up with court 1.
Okay, Judge, no problem.
Mr. Garcia, are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old, sir.
Your job?
Yes, I was working at landscaping.
Who do you live with?
I live with my brother
What city?
in Dallas, Texas, sir.
Bond on it's currently set at 25,000 will be reduced to $1,000 cash surety. Another POCS set at 15,000 will also be reduced to $1,000 cash surety. We'll order monthly UAs through probation department. So you're gonna have to get drug tested at least once a month, maybe more often. First time you come back positive, you're gonna end up back in jail. You understand me? No drugs and no alcohol while you're out on bond. No contact with the co-defendants. And you have a phone number. Do you have his contact number for him, Carlos?
Yes.
I have a 676-5567.
Yes, sir.
All right. Make sure you stay in contact with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
Go ahead and have a seat, sir. Next case we're going to call is C-4334-24-E, State of Texas versus Hilario Cantu. Speak English, Mr. Cantu?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Melisandra Mendoza on behalf of Mr. Cantu.
Good afternoon. Client's present. He speaks English. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, we did file a writ of habeas corpus on behalf of Mr. Cantu. Mr. Cantu has been incarcerated for approximately 17 days. His charge, Your Honor, is possession of a controlled substance less than 1 gram. His bond is currently set at 25,000 cash surety. Your Honor, my client, Mr. Cantu, has no holds. He does have prior cases in the 93rd and County Court 4. Your Honor, I am court appointed to Mr. Cantu's case. He is indigent, Your Honor. He has been incarcerated for over 2 weeks. This is not a 3G offense, Your I am respectfully requesting a PR bond in this case.
It says the state.
Your Honor, the state would be opposed to a PR bond. We would be in agreement to cut the $20,000 cash surety in half. We would be in agreement for a $10,000 cash surety bond. This was a traffic stop for disregarding a stop sign. The defendant had 0.09 grams of cocaine, and the defendant has 3 felony convictions, the most recent one in 2023. The state would be in agreement for a $10,000 cash surety bond.
Your Honor, at this time, we would respectfully request a 10,000 PR bond.
Mr. Cantu, how old are you, sir?
I'm 24, Your Honor.
You graduated from high school?
No, sir.
You have a job?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Leveling houses.
You're on probation?
Was that in probation?
Are you on probation right now?
No, sir. I'm not quite sure, sir.
Let's show,
But Your Honor, I called.
quiet. I show in November 23, they put you on 4 years probation for a burglary of a building.
Your Honor, it may be
And also
possible
for-
that an MTR has not been filed yet.
Can you show the MTRs?
Your Honor, can I speak?
No? They want to ask your attorney if she wants you to speak.
Mr. Cantu, at this time, please allow Judge Esparza to continue his hearing. Please.
You don't even know if you're on probation. You were put on probation a year ago, so I'm assuming you haven't reported to probation.
I did report, but I stopped reporting because I was working.
You stopped reporting.
I'm not quite sure. That comes month, I think.
It was almost a year ago. Have you reported in the last year? I didn't see any MTRs. Mr. Godson, you may want to check with that with the state, see if they're gonna file the MTRs. If this guy hasn't reported in over a year or close to a year, he's got 2 felony probations there. It's like somebody may have dropped the ball.
Will do, Judge. I can check on that.
0.09 grams, reduce the bond to $2,000 cash surety. So if you get out, you're on probation on a couple of felony cases you haven't reported. For some reason, a revocation has not been filed, but the state's aware of it now. High probability that they will file a motion to revoke. So if you get out on bond, you may end up back in jail. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I speak, sir?
What is it you want to say? Go ahead and talk. Let's hear what you have to say.
I think they put me over was because they said they were cooperating and I did.
Okay, and I read that. That's why I'm lowering your bond, even though you're given probation and you haven't cooperated there, right? You haven't been reporting. Bond will be reduced to $2,000 cash surety, so good luck to you. It's really,
I'm sorry,
in contact with
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What was the total amount?
$2,000 cash surety. He only had one charge, no?
Yes, that is correct. I just thought I misunderstood. Thank you so much, Your Honor. I have no further business before this honorable court. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon. Thank you, Ms. Sanders.
Likewise, Judge. Thank you. Bye-bye.
State of Texas, I'm sorry, C 4398-24-8, State of Texas versus Gage Ellison. Jaime, good afternoon. Jaime, he does have a hold from TJJD. I'm not sure if you were.
Correct, Judge. Good afternoon, Judge. May I proceed?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Judge, my client, Gage Ellison, is 17 years old. He's originally from the Odessa area. We have been in contact with his family. He was here on DJJD, has been since December of last year. He does have a target release date until April or sometime next year through TJJD commitment, Judge. He is here before this honorable court on assault on a public servant, something involving a staff member there in the local Evans program, Judge. The bond he currently has is $20,000. He's a U.S. citizen, 17 years old. The family really doesn't have any financial means whatsoever. And obviously the fact that he has a hold from TJJD is also, kind of discouraging to them as far as their ability to make bond. What we're asking for, Judge, respectfully, is a PR bond on this assault charge. what TJJD would normally do with the juvenile, they take them back into their custody. They assess and evaluate their risk and needs. You know, sometimes they can, they have their own system of discipline within the local Evans program, or if they think he's a potential assaultive risk, they could even send him to a more strict facility, Judge. So TJJD has the means and methods to handle him. He's 17, will turn 18 tomorrow. You know, he's still a very young man, and this was an unfortunate mistake that he lost his cool one day. But I think TJJD would be a better place than taking up space here in the local county jail, Judge. So that's why we're asking for a PR bond and let TJJD sort of intervene and handle him in the meantime, Judge.
That's it.
Your Honor, the state would be opposed to that. The defendant has 18 days in custody. The defendant pushed the victim with a closed fist, and he caused the victim to get a laceration on his lip. Bond is currently set at $20,000 cash surety. We would ask that bond remain at $20,000 cash surety, Judge.
Ellison, turn 18 tomorrow. If you're released, you're going back to the Evans facility. You understand that? Are you willing to participate over there and comply with the rules? Because if not, we'll leave you in here till you get charged or indicted. What do you want to do?
Okay.
You gotta behave over there. You can't go back over there with an attitude and causing problems, because they'll send you right back over here, and I'll just leave you here. You understand that? Bond will be reduced to $2,500 PR. Defendant to be released to TJJD. Officials only. Now you go ahead and have a seat. Anything else, Jaime?
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you for your time.
All right,
Have a good day.
you too. We call C 4318-24-A, State of Texas versus Julio Fuentes. Now bring Mr. Fuentes, Julio Fuentes. Julio. And bring Mr. Bustos. I don't see Mr. Bustos on the screen.
He was added on the list at the end.
I think the guy was from Willis. Okay. All right, we'll recall that one, see if Mr. Bustos shows up. C 4400-24-I, State of Texas versus Juana Garza. No habla inglés, ¿verdad, Juan? No habla inglés? Okay. This is
Good
Vito
afternoon, Your Honor.
Chavana.
Your Honor, Samuel Reyes, Judge, for the defendant. Your Honor, I did file a motion to substitute in this case in for Vito Chavana.
You were retained, Sammy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The client speaks Spanish, so just go slowly. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, this is a motion for bond reduction on this writ, Your Honor. The injury to a child, my client has it's an injury to a child or elderly. She has a $30,000 cash or surety bond on that one, Judge. The resisting was also included, but I see it's been filed. And so that's going to be taken up with the county court, Your Honor, and I'm filing the appropriate paperwork on that case. She does have a $10,000 cash or surety bond on that one. Additionally, she's got an incident in December of 2023, which was a terroristic threat that's currently pending in County Court of Law number 8, and she's got a $3,000 bond, which she had previously made, but that bond has since been surrendered. So she has to make that bond as well, Your Honor. This one is $30,000, and that same incident of December, Your Honor, is the same alleged victim as this case, this $30,000 bond, who is her husband of 25 years, Benjamin Garza. And they've been married. They've been here in the United States in Mission, Texas. My understanding, Judge, and I've got Sara Rico, who's a witness. Oneida Garza is the defendant's daughter, who is also on Zoom, who was also very intimately familiar with the domestic situation Their testimony, Your Honor, by proffer will be that in fact the alleged victim in this case, Benjamin Garza, is a physically abusive and emotionally abusive and manipulative man who has abused and manipulated my client for many years and has physically abused her. She has been in jail for 12 days, Your Honor, and previously she was employed in house cleaning services. But we do have incidents from the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office from 2020 of him slapping her in the face, where she felt dizzy and fell to the ground, had to be transported for medical attention. And another incident from the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, incident report 22-44596, a report of on November the 12th of 2022. He called the police on her because she had invited a friend because she was lonely, and that was the reason he gave to the police. Other incidences that police have gone, they've observed him to be highly intoxicated. So I think this goes to the weight of the state's case. It's based on an affidavit of this Benjamin Garza, who has previously made false allegations, Your Honor. She does have 2 U.S. citizens, Judge. She does have an immigration attorney that is in helping her to apply for VAWA and U visa. Sara Rico will also testify, Judge, that she will not go back to this house or anywhere near this man, Benjamin Garza. She intends on proceeding with a divorce against him, and she will not go near him. She will live with Sara Rico, who is a U.S. citizen, at 106 Green Lawn in Mission, Texas, 78572. And Your Honor, being that she has been a resident here for 25 years, Judge, we're asking that the court consider setting a PR bond or a $500 cash or surety bond.
How much?
Judge, we would ask the court to consider 500 cash or surety or PR.
This is the state.
Your Honor, the state would be opposed to any type of bond reduction at this time. The defendant has history with the same victim. In this incident, the defendant pushed down the victim. The victim was 65 years old. The officer at the scene observed scratches on the victim in the chest area, the bicep area, and the lower back area. We would ask that bond remain the same at 30,000 cash surety, Judge.
Gatsa, there's a protective order that was issued by the magistrate when you were arraigned. Do you understand that? Okay. Let her know that there was a protective order issued by the magistrate. Jason Pena, do you understand that? Yes, and the order was issued, and part of that order says that you cannot have any contact with Benjamin Garza for 91 days. Do you understand that? I'm asking you a question. It's a yes or no question. Do you understand that there's an order you cannot have contact with him? Do you understand my question? Okay, that order says you cannot go within 200 yards of the address at 3605 Janey Street in Mission, Texas. Do you understand that?
Hay 2 direcciones, 2 casas. Entonces yo quisiera que me diera la casa donde yo puedo estar, en la casa grande, y no la casa chica 3408. Si él se puede mudar ahí, yo no me voy a hacer.
Listen to me, okay? There's an order that says that you cannot go within 200 yards of the house located at 3605 Janey Street in Mission. Do you understand that? You need to answer. Okay, if you go there or drive by there, you will be arrested. Do you understand that? I'm not asking you if you're going to stay with the house. I'm telling you that if you drive by there or go by there or go to that house, you will be arrested. Do you understand that? We're not here to divide up the property. This is not a divorce court. I'm telling you, you have a protective order, and for the time being, you cannot go near that property. Is that clear? You cannot have any contact with this gentleman either. And the protective order says for 91 days, I'm gonna ask that there be no contact until this case is resolved. Do you understand that?
Entiendo.
If you need to communicate with him in any way, do it through your attorney, Mr. Reyes. Do you understand? You will be given a copy of this protective order. They'll give you a copy when you're released. It's in English. If you don't understand it, get with your attorney and he can explain it to you. Do you understand? Sammy, you may want to go over that with her when she's released, so that there's not any confusion.
Yes, sir.
Bond will be reduced to that. Did you say she's a USC?
No, Your Honor. I said that she has an immigration attorney and that she's applying to BAWA and for a U visa. She has been living in the United States for 25 years with her husband.
There's no holds, right?
No.
Okay, well, I don't see an ICE hold, so I'm going to reduce the bond to $1,000 cash surety. Your
Thank
bond
you, Your
will be reduced to $1,000 cash surety. Your attorney will explain to you how much you have to pay to get out. It's not the $1,000. It's usually a lesser amount. You understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Sammy?
That's all we have, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Buena suerte, señor.
¿Qué le puedo decir?
Next case we're gonna call is C 4393-24-J, State of Texas versus Ever Reyes.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Melissa Montes on
Habla
behalf of,
inglés, you speak English? Español. He's Spanish speaking also. Client's present, Melissa, just go slowly, he's Spanish speaking.
yes, Judge. Your Honor, this case is kind of peculiar in that he's been in jail since January 14th, 2024. He's not a United States citizen. He had been pending, he had an immigration hold. He had another charge that got dismissed. So he was, when he got transferred to immigration, they brought him back because he had, I guess, this case dating back to June 28th, 24. So he's technically been in jail since January 14th, 2024. I'm not sure what the state intends to do with this case, if they're moving forward with it. It is still pending an intake. The alleged victim is another male, and he does not want to move forward with these charges either. So, Your Honor, for that reason, we're asking for a low bond in this matter. So he can move forward. I mean, he's been incarcerated like all this time.
Okay. What says the state?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would be opposed. Bond is set at 5,000 cash surety. He's not been up before. The defense attorney stated the facts correctly. The defendant punched his boyfriend in the left eye. I have him in custody as for 19 days, but in looking at the offense report, defense counsel is correct that it dates back from June 28, 2024.
2024 or 2023? My complaint says June of 2023.
Look at that, Judge. I believe you're correct, though.
Yeah, right, Judge. And also, Your Honor, another thing that was kind of confusing was that they have him as continuous family violence, but he's never had an assault before, as far as I can.
Well, they may not have charged it, but if they've gone out there and taken reports, they count that as continuous. They can count it. Mr. Reyes, there's an immigration hold on your case. Do you understand that? My understanding is you've been in custody already with immigration, is that correct? This looks like an old case. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce your bond to, $500 cash surety. If you make bond, I guess they're gonna release him back to immigration. I don't know. Is this, where's this case at, Mr. Garza? Is it gonna be, if it's that old, I know he's only been in custody, it looks like, for 18 days here, but this case is over a year old. Was it down before the grand jury?
Let me check on that, Judge. There's no update, Judge. It says, it was put on fast track September 18th, 2024, but there's no update about it going to the grand jury yet.
Your bond will be reduced to $500 cash surety, no contact with the victim. Because there was a protective order that was issued, Melissa, but in looking at it, it expired. Well, actually, no, it expires not till November. Let her know that there is a protective order, and you're not supposed to have any contact with Miguel Marquez or go within 200 yards of his residence. And this will expire on November 13th of this year. If you violate that protective order, you could be arrested again, facing new charges. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. That means no calling him from in here either. If you call him from in here, that's a violation. You could be charged. I'm sure you understand that. Anything else, Melissa?
Further, Your Honor, may I be excused?
You may want to explain that protective order further to him, just in case he does make bond or whatever.
I will, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's what this is. Toma asiento. Next case we're gonna call is C 4407-24-F, State of Texas versus Edgar Reese. Speak English, Mr. Reese.
Good afternoon, Judge. Yes, I apologize. I'm having some sort of technical difficulties on my computer, so you can't see my face, but I'm sure you don't need to.
How do I know that's you?
I apologize, Judge. But that being said, yes, I am here on behalf of Mr. Ruiz. We filed a writ, I think, before and again, so it kind of changed. He picked up a new charge. So my understanding is that the DWI has already been, a complaint's been filed in County Court 10 on that one. And I believe we already addressed the theft of property before. If not, then we're here on two cases, which would be an evading and a theft, of which the bonds are set at $15,000 and $10,000. I've spoken to Mr. Ruiz. I know that he has trouble coming up with the money in this case. Respectfully, we'd be requesting that each be reduced to $2,500 cash or surety, sir.
What says the state?
Honor Ray Garza for the state. At this time, the state would be opposed to any type of bond reduction. The defendant has 21 days in custody. This was a traffic stop in response to a theft of a vehicle. The defendant then evaded arrest. Bond is set at $15,000 on the evading and $10,000 on the theft. We would ask that they remain at that amount, Judge.
Hold on, I'm just looking over the report.
Yes, sir.
You live, Mr. Reese?
Have a neighbor?
Married?
No, sir.
Have a job? Right now, I'm not working, but I do have a job pending with my brother. When was the last time you worked?
About 6 months ago.
You're on probation or parole right now?
No, sir.
Bond will be reduced to $2,500 cash surety on each charge. Defendant to be released to AIP officials only, which means you're gonna be under house arrest, sir. AIP official, you ever been on AIP before?
No, sir.
AIP will come and visit you here at the jail. They'll give you a list of rules that you need to follow. Don't get arrested, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Don't be out of the house unless you're going to work. If you are, you need to notify them of your schedule. Give them the address where you're working. They'll go verify that you're there. If you're not there when you're supposed to be, or if you're not home when you're supposed to be, or if you're using drugs or alcohol, those are all violations. They'll report it back to the court and you come back to jail. So you decide where you want to stay, out there or in here. Okay?
That'll be for the regulations,
Until this case is resolved. Anything else, Vince?
No, sir, I have no further business before the court. May I be excused, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Y'all have a good afternoon too. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna call C 4405-24-L, State of Texas versus Rodolfo Silva.
Yes, Judge. Tracy Everson. Sorry, Judge.
Well. You may proceed.
Yes, Judge. Judge, my client is a U.S. citizen. He resides in Edinburgh with his elderly mom and dad, Judge, that he helps take care of. He also has full custody of one son. The mother to that child was deported. He had been employed prior to his arrest for 1.5 years at Renegade Automotive, Judge. That job would still be available for him. On this particular case, Judge, I've asked the DA's office, not Mr. Garza individually, but Ms. Annalise, for the copy of their probable cause statement. This is a situation to where they came to his house later on alleging that he was in some type of accident. So it wasn't a situation where he was arrested like at a scene of an accident. But I guess they're alleging that the plate number of his car was involved in an accident, Judge. I have not seen that PC statement, Judge, so I'm not sure really the facts of the actual case, Judge. We would ask the court to consider there are 9 counts for the collision involving injury. Right now, those counts are set at $20,000 each. We would be asking for a $2,500 cash or surety bond for each one of those counts. On the evading arrest with vehicle, Judge, we would be in agreement to the $5,000 cash or surety on the tampering, and on the $20,000 of the possession of controlled substance, Judge, we would ask the court to consider a $5,000 cash or surety bond, Judge. Additionally, which is not part of this case, but there are additional felony cases that are pending that the bail bondsmen have done verifications of incarceration, Judge, so he would have to repost those bonds as well.
So there's 5 counts of collision involving injury, right?
It's 9 counts, I believe, Judge.
9 counts?
Yes, Judge. Should be 9 of those, 1 evading arrest, 1 possession of controlled substance, and 1 tampering.
It looks like he posted the bond on the evading. Yeah,
So he just has the position and the temporary.
and the 9 counts of injury.
Yes.
What says the state?
Your Honor, we would be opposed to any type of reduction. The defendant has been up before on August 22nd, 2016. The defendant went up to 2 years TDC on an aggravated assault. In addition, the defendant had 2 active felonies and then picked up these all of these counts, the 12-count case at intake. From my understanding on the report, it was a traffic stop. The defendant evaded and the defendant had cocaine in his possession. The defendant only has 20 days in custody. At this time, we would be opposed to any type of bond reduction, Judge.
The report says he fled on foot. Fled the scene. They didn't catch him at that time.
And again, Judge, I would just ask the DA's office to forward their probable cause statement to me, Judge. I've been asking for it since last week.
He was just recently, he wasn't arrested that night because this happened August 30th. He's been in jail 19 days. They requested a warrant, so I guess they didn't arrest him that night.
That is my understanding as well, Judge.
Where do you work, Mr. Silva?
Renegade Automotive Service and Mission.
What do you do there?
I'm a lead mechanic
How long you been working there?
for like a year and a half before I got arrested.
Where do you live? What city you live in?
Edinburgh, with my elderly mom and dad.
You a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Where were you born?
West Central Texas. This is all just allegations for a vehicle that I sold on. I did not commit this offense, Your Honor.
The tampering be reduced to $1,000 cash surety. The possession charge will be reduced to $1,000 cash surety.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was that? It cut out.
$1,000 cash surety on the possession, $1,000 cash surety on the tampering,
Okay, thank you, Judge.
and on the other counts of injury or collision involving injury. Are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Actually, there's 9 counts of those, right?
Yes, Judge.
I'm asking for what on those, 2,500
500 cash or surety. Yes, Judge.
on each one?
Yes, Judge.
Bond will be reduced to $2,500 cash surety on each one, so times 9. Monthly UAs, probation's gonna check you, sir. You come, first time you come back dirty for drugs or alcohol, you come back to jail, you understand me? To take care of all of it? The evading, he already made the bond, it looks
Yes,
like,
Judge.
my understanding.
Yes, Judge. I
Okay.
believe that takes care of everything.
All right, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Judge. May I excuse?
Stay in contact with the attorney, sir. Yes, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
The last case we have is C 4318-24-A, State of Texas versus Julio Fuentes. This gentleman was not brought in today. We added him on Friday as the request of the attorney. Mr. Bustos, I do not see Mr. Bustos on the screen. It's now 2:50. We'll just go ahead and reset this case for a later date. Mr. Gatsa, thank you for your help.
You, Judge, have a good one.
You too.